know how I'm feeling right now? Let's see. This is the end of week 2. Okay, this is kind of like a pre-prep, by the way. So the real hard stuff, the real calorie deficit, right? The pain, the fatigue, all that shit, right? The hard part is not gonna be until a couple weeks from now. So this is like really preparing me for what's to come in the next phase. So this is only phase 1. I feel pretty good so far. Again, technically I am in a calorie deficit, but 3 days out the week I'm eating at around 2,300 calories, and the other 3 I'm eating about 2,500 calories, give or take. And I have 1 refeed day, which will be tomorrow on Monday, where I'm eating about 2,900, just about. The calories is not like the biggest concern. It's more about the macros, so make sure I'm hitting my macros. So, you know, for those of y'all who don't know what carb cycling is, so that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm carb cycling. So carb cycling is a dietary approach where you're pretty much alternating your carb intake on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis, okay? And people can do it for either, you know, to help them lose weight, to help them maintain performance while dieting, or, you know, if they're trying to overcome a weight loss plateau, okay? So in short, right, carb cycling is basically where we're trying to save our carbs for when it's gonna provide maximum benefit and excluding them when we don't need it as much, okay? So that's pretty much how it works. So on my low carb day, I'm eating at about 200 grams of carbs, and my fats are gonna be a little bit higher. So at about like 77 grams of fat, and then my protein stays the same at 200 grams all throughout. My mid carb day, or my moderate carb day, is gonna be around 280 grams. Still not bad at all. My fats is about around 60 grams of fat, maybe like 65 grams of fat, and then my protein still stays at 200. Okay, now on my refeed day, that's when my carbs are the highest. Okay, I only get 1 of those, and that's just to refuel my body and just to make sure that my hormone levels are normalized. So I'm getting about maybe 416 grams of carbs on that refeed day, which is a lot, and which is really what I'm used to. Okay, so I think that's the hardest part, is just cutting down the carbs, because I do feel myself getting a little bit hungrier, like later throughout the day. You know, one thing I'm really realizing is that I eat a lot that I didn't even realize, and I'm sure a lot of y'all don't realize. You know, if you've never tracked your calories before, you've never tracked macros. I've never, I mean, probably maybe a couple times here and there, I've tracked my calories and my macros, but like not like regularly like I'm doing right now. I have never done that before. I've never had to, even just to get to where I am today. I've never had to. I've always just kept my diet somewhat clean, right? And I've been able to treat myself whenever I want to, because I have that discipline, you know, where I know I'm always gonna be in the gym, and I'm not gonna overdo it, you know, when it comes to my treat meals. So I've never ever had to track my macros in order for me to get the body that I want. So technically you don't have to either, but if you don't know anything about macros, or about, you know, how much protein or carbs or fat you should be taking in, then you know, it might be a good place to start by, you know, downloading a tracking app such as MyFitnessPal or Eat This Much. Download one of those, and then just tracking your food where you're at right now. And then there's also calorie calculators that you can figure out how much you should be getting just to maintain your body weight, or if you're trying to bulk, you know, how much you need to eat in order to gain weight, and how much you need to, if you're trying to lose weight, you know, how much you need to eat for that. Okay, but you always want to check what your maintenance is, and you want to make sure that you're eating at your maintenance, especially, you know, just so that you know where you're at. Okay, so you have a base and a starting point, and then you can kind of work up from there. If you're struggling in your fat loss journey or your bulking journey, and you're like, you know, I hear this a lot from bulkers, like, I eat so much, I don't know why I'm not gaining weight, and I work out this and that. Well, have you tracked? Most of the time I hear no. So you need to make sure you're tracking, and make sure that you actually know how much you're getting, so that you can increase that in order for you to help you with your bulking journey. Same thing if you're in a fat loss journey. You know, people are like, yeah, like, I don't eat that much, and I don't know why I'm not losing weight. Well, there's two sides to that coin. Okay, one, you're not losing weight or losing fat because you've never tracked your calories before, so you don't actually know how much you're getting in, right? You might think you're not eating that much throughout the day, but calories do add up more than you think. So, right, if you're eating with, if you're eating foods, that have like condiments, with sugar in it, if you're using excess, oils or fats, or if you're just underestimating how much one of your meals actually is, right? Especially if you're eating out all the time, or, you're not really, if you're not paying attention to your portions, then it's very easy to overeat if you're trying to lose weight. So it's just best to track it using, measuring cups or food scale. Food scale probably going to be the most accurate, so I would highly recommend that. The other side to that coin is maybe you're not eating much at all and you're not losing fat. Well, that could be because you're not eating enough. You need to make sure that you're fueling your body in order for it to function and work properly. If you're not fueling your body with the necessary nutrients that it needs, especially protein, which is what a lot of people lack, and overdoing your carbs or just really not eating much of anything, then your body is going to go into survival mode and almost like try to hold on to whatever it can hold on to. And fat is nothing but stored energy. So if you're not eating that much, right, then your body's like, shit, we don't know when next time we're gonna get some food, so we're just gonna hold on to whatever energy we can hold on to and make it last, which is why you can't get past your fat loss goal. Okay, so just remember that. So in both scenarios, in both cases, it'll be in your best interest to track, to see where you're at, how many calories you're actually getting in consistently on a daily basis. Okay, then from there, then you can figure out. So if you are eating less than you should be, then that's when I would say it's time to start upping your calories. Okay, make sure you get enough protein in, and make sure you get enough carbs and fat within your diet to just normalize your hormones again, okay, and refuel your body. Once you get to a point where you get to that point where you are eating at your maintenance, then you can start going back into a calorie deficit, and it should help with your fat loss journey.